Lord, why do I look so swole? Hi, it's been a minute, which I apologise for. I haven't really been doing anything. I've been off most of August, but I was just being very frivolous. It was my birthday month. I went on holiday and it was carnival, so a lot of things happened. There was a lot of drinking. Shit happens, you know how it is. But now I'm back. A couple videos before I talked about calories and tracking food and all of that stuff. I was never one to care about what I was putting in my body. I just ate to satiety. Satiety? Satiety? You know the word I'm looking for. There is a big difference between tracking your calories and restricting your calories. At the end of the day, if you want to get leaner, lose weight, gain muscle, whatever your goal is, if you don't eat right, if you don't consume enough, or you consume too many calories, you're not going to get to where you want to get to. Let's move on to the more complicated scientific shit, which is like calories in versus calories out. This concept used to always confuse the fuck out of me. When people say that you have to eat in a caloric deficit, the theory is to consume less than you burn. In my head, that was like, say I eat 1,500 calories a day. In order to be in a caloric deficit, you have to burn 1,600 calories to be in a deficit, which is mad, because unless you're like the Hulk, it's just ridiculous. It took me a minute to kind of understand what being in a caloric deficit is. You have maintenance calories. Everyone has calories that will maintain the physique that they currently have. There's loads of calculators online to help you figure that out. Not very accurate. It's always good to, I guess, go to nutritionists, have them figure it out for you. But if you don't have the means to do that, you can always go online and get like a rough estimate of how many calories you are supposed to consume in order to maintain. Let's use an example. Say your maintenance calories are 2,000. You have to have 2,000 calories to look as you do. So in order to be in a deficit, you would have to eat 1,500 calories to be in a 500 calorie deficit. So if it were me, I would be eating 500 calories less than what my body requires. And that would have me losing weight because I'm eating less than what I need. I hope that makes sense. It's gone cold. This is the sad time. Before I continue, I just want to say that tracking your food and recording your calories and doing what I did is not a necessity. It's just, in my opinion, it's the most effective way for you to measure what it is that you're putting in your body and to get where you want to be. It depends on the type of person you are as well. Some people can get quite obsessive about it, like they'll make sure they get their amount of calories to a T. If I want to eat a piece of cake, I'll eat a piece of cake because I want that piece of cake, you know what I mean? There are a lot of negative connotations. Like, a lot of people are like, I don't track my food, I just eat intuitively, which is fine, do you. You don't need to count calories to lose weight, and you don't need to count calories to gain muscle, but it helps. It's really helpful in making sure that you are held accountable for what you're consuming. And you don't have to do it forever. Once you get where you're going, once you get used to it, like I'm used to it now and I do it less. Quick disclaimer. That wasn't quick, that was babble. Now we have all the snazzy jargon out of the way. Jargon. Ah, my god, speaking is not my forte. Let's get on to why tracking food is ideal for optimal weight loss and muscle gain. We'll use myself as an example, because everyone likes a real life example. I started off using MyFitnessPal to kind of keep track of what I eat. MyFitnessPal is an app which basically contains all the food in the world. You can type in anything and it will probably be there, or you can make up your own food if that's what you need to do with recipes and stuff. Fabulous app for if you are looking to track what you're putting in your body. On MyFitnessPal you can like control how much of each thing that you're eating. When I got my PT, he set me a caloric goal with a specific amount of each food group to get in, the main food group, so that's like carbs, fat and protein. I'm not going to go into like specifics of how much I ate, but protein was really important for me because I wasn't eating as much as I thought I was. I had to get at least 120 grams of protein, which is a lot of protein. This is where MyFitnessPal comes into handy. English is your first language, Zoe, and you're fucking it up. When I started, I bought some scales on Amazon, which I still use now. That was back in January. I don't do it all the time. I'm not very pedantic with it, but I measure the majority of the food that I'm eating. If I'm eating like lunch, dinner, that's when I mostly measure it. Trying to get back up to maintenance calories because I finally lost enough body fat percentage. So when you eat at a caloric deficit, you lose fat. I was quite skinny. I've never been like big, but my body fat percentage was of someone who was overweight. Like it was on its way to that, even though you look at me and I'm like, I'm not, but that's where my body fat percentage was sitting at. But now I'm finally at a percentage where you can actually see some sort of definition. The only way you're going to see your gains from going to the gym or training or whatever it might be is by eating correctly. And the only way to eat correctly is to know what it is that you're eating. And the way to know what it is that you're eating is to track it. It's long, it takes a bit of time to get used to, but once you do, you'll... If I can do it, you can. I'm lazy as shit. It's not a necessity at the end of the day. Like I said earlier, you don't need to do it. It's just I'm telling you what helped me. If I didn't eat properly, I could be training all the time and I wouldn't see any progress. It does take a while. It took me a long time to get where I am now. It took like at least 4 months. And yeah, sometimes I'll go and eat whatever the fuck I want. There's nothing wrong with that. In summary, figure out what you want. Do you want to be in a caloric surplus? Do you want to be in a caloric deficit? Do you want to maintain your physique? Whatever it is, you figure out how many calories you need to maintain yourself. I'll like link below some of the calculators that I've used in the past. From there, you go like, say, most people do about a 500 calorie deficit. So do that. Maintain it on MyFitnessPal or any other fitness app. That's like Lifesum, there's other ones, but MyFitnessPal is probably one of the best ones. Keep track of everything for at least, try it for like 2 weeks. See if you see any difference. If you don't, change it. Eat more, eat less. So yeah, that's about it. I hope that you learned something from this. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me down below. I'll try and answer as best as I can. I'm no fitness expert in any way, shape or form. I'm literally just speaking from my own experience. So whatever I've said might not work for you, but it's worked for a lot of people, so I'm sure it's quite effective. So I'm like really passionate about fitness and stuff nowadays. So if anyone asks me anything, I'm always like, I'll help you, as if I know everything, but I don't. But yeah, if you like this video, feel free to leave me a thumbs up and subscribe and all that good stuff. And I shall see you soon in my next video. Bye!